Good morning. One more time. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Spring Commencement 2015 for Warner Pacific College. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here. And I want to let you all know this morning that this platform party made sure the sun would be out just for this event. So give them some love when you see them later on. They made sure the sun would be out. So on behalf of the faculty, the staff, the administration, and our wonderful Board of Trustees, I'm very pleased to welcome you, friends, families, and special guests that have decided to join us today for this very important cultural space. We are so honored and blessed to have you with us this morning, and we invite you to enjoy this very significant moment in the lives of all these graduates. Commencement is one of the longest-standing traditions in the history of higher education. From the ancient times of Plato's Academy to the modern times of the great universities in Europe and the U.S., there came moments when teachers marked the accomplishments of students and acknowledged their transitions into a world in which they would be expected to use what they had learned for the betterment of society, or as I like to say, quoting my dear brother James Brown, to use what they got to get what they want. And that's the moment we're in right now. But as I reflected on this school year, I want to bring to you kind of a more serious note, especially in our current kind of postmodern moment. I'm urging you all, graduates, to contemplate and reflect earnestly on the purpose of your Warner Pacific education. In the past few months, our nation has experienced some trying times in some of the most vulnerable communities. For some, memories of an unjust racial past seems to be returning for an unwelcome and undemocratic encore. Black males are at the heart of this production, and they have to bear the weight of being disproportionately cast in a narrative they unfortunately know so well. Places like Ferguson, Staten Island, and now Baltimore are just a few of the locations that serve as sites for some of the most egregious scenes of our day, and it radically calls into question how we see the role of a college education. Phrases like Black Lives Matter and I Can't Breathe are not just t-shirts, bumper stickers, or hashtags that symbolize a connection to the lives of black males who have been on the receiving end of what some are calling arbitrary state-sanctioned violence by law enforcement. Rather, these phrases are serving as a clarion call to usher in a reimagining of one's vocation in academic preparation in an era where structural and systemic inequality is rendering the lives of black males and others utterly disposable. One of my favorite scholars and philosophers is a brother that goes by the name of J. Cole. And in his current text titled 2014 Forest Hill Drive, he asks a profound and existential question in the second chapter titled January 28th. J. Cole asks, what is the price of a black man's life? I check the toe tag, no zero in sight. I turn the TV on, not one hero in sight, unless he dribbles or he fiddles with mics. That's J. Cole, Forest Hills Drive. I am asking you, graduates, that you use your education to transform the injustices that plague our society and point to the underbelly of American democracy. Warner Pacific College is a Christ-centered, urban, liberal arts college dedicated to preparing students to engage, diverse students to prepare actively in a constantly changing world. And we know that suffering and hope must live together. However, we also know through the teachings of Christ that despair will never have the last word. As we proceed this morning, please take note of the many symbolic elements of the ceremony, such as the size and color of the hoods of the faculty and the manner of introducing the graduates by the name of the degree they are receiving. As we begin, the invocation will be delivered by Dr. Dennis Plies, Professor of Music. Following Dr. Plies will be Professor Bart Valentine, Assistant Professor of Mathematics, reading the scripture lesson for the day. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing through the scripture reading of the day. Thank you.
Men, you can remove your... Let us bow. Our most holy and accessible God, Great Spirit, mystery, paradox, most creative Lord of the universe, we invite and invoke your divine presence at this graduation ceremony to be with these graduates. We ask that from this day forward you help them to remember your Son, Jesus, his values, his lifestyle, and his words. As they seek enlightenment through greater knowledge, help them to remember that Jesus said, I am the light of the world. As they seek their path through life and are tempted by many distractions, help them to remember that Jesus said, I am the way. As they seek to understand the deeper and ultimate meaning of their lives, help them to remember that Jesus said, I am the truth. We offer this time of celebration in gratitude for the learning it represents, realizing the process of persistence it has taken, both for the students, their families, friends, as well as the staff and faculty of this college and all stakeholders. In humility, we offer these words, O God. Amen.
I'll be reading from the 40th chapter of Isaiah, verses 28 through 31. Do you not know? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and his understanding no one can fathom. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Graduates, God's prayer for you is that you will soar on wings like eagles.
Please be seated. Let me add my welcome on behalf of the faculty of Warner Pacific College and the administration. Glad to see you all here, especially honored guests, the Board of Trustees and friends, family members, cohort members, people who thought there was a party going on here today and just walked in off the street. Y'all are welcome. Y'all are welcome. I'm Cole Dawson. I'm the academic vice president of the college, and it is very good to see you all here. As you've scanned the program, and I know you've had plenty of time to do that, you may have noticed that our speakers today are actually graduating seniors. Offering this opportunity to our own students has become not only a tradition at the college, but also a signal statement about our values. It is difficult to choose only 2 students for this honor. I'm sure you appreciate that we would not have time to hear them all speak, but we do believe that all of our graduates have stories that are worthy of the telling and of our attention. The students you will hear today were nominated by our faculty, come to us offering words of wisdom, born both of academic study and life experience. Introducing Yvonne Edwards will be Professor Joe McClendon, adjunct professor in the social sciences and humanities. Following Yvonne's address, Dr. Arthur Kelly, senior adjunct professor in humanities and religion and Christian ministries, will introduce Ben Irwin. Concluding this portion of the program, our men's ensemble, Bridgetown, will come to offer 2 musical selections honoring the graduates. Please listen carefully to Yvonne and to Ben. They've prepared well. They deserve your attention. Thank you. Joe?
It is a great honor to be able to introduce our ADP graduation speaker. See, all of our students impact us as professors. Every student matters. And so it's because each of you matter to us that I'm especially proud to bring up to the podium Yvonne Edwards. I had the joy of meeting Yvonne early on in her bachelor's program. In the first workshop of cultural studies, we go through the syllabus, and together we read, "Interview an immigrant who came to the United States as an adult." Yvonne chuckled and in her serious, cum jovial way asked, "Hey, Professor Joe, can I interview myself?" Yeah! I mean, not for this assignment, but yeah, of course you can. That's what your college education should be. An exploration of yourself through the material that you learn. And little did I know that Yvonne was going to take me seriously. As I heard of her progress through the program, this is exactly what she has done. I'm going to let her speak of her experiences, her extensive experiences as an immigrant, as a medic, as a deputy. But what I can speak of is her dedication to actively applying what she learned in each of her classes to her experience. See, to Yvonne is to care. For her, her degree was the avenue by which she was going to understand herself, her experiences, and her relation to an ever-changing, increasingly diverse world in a meaningful way. I'm humbled, I'm honored, I'm happy, and I'm just a little bit proud to introduce Yvonne Edwards.
Thank you, Professor Joe. One memorable moment. In his novel, Great Expectations, Charles Dickens entices his listener to think about their life. Imagine one selected day struck out of it, and think how different its course would have been. Pause and think for a moment of the long chains of iron or gold, of thorns and flowers that would never have bound you but for the formation of this first link on one memorable day. Today marks the culmination of our journey. We are the graduating class of 2015. Fellow graduates, join me in welcoming our esteemed guest, President Cook, members of the Board of Trustees, members of the Executive Cabinet, deans, faculties, families, and friends. Welcome. Graduation is one of those awkward times in our lives when we are torn between the joys of our memories and the excitement of our future. Should we look back on what were the greatest years of our lives, both triumphant and sometimes a struggle? Times filled with joy from the boisterous sounds of the first spring day out on the green, or the calmness of the chapel. Instead, should we focus on the next stage in this journey called life? We have been impatiently waiting for this day for years, and now we just want to hit pause. We want to slow it down and enjoy the last fleeting moments. Our lives forever altered in one short moment after we walk across the stage and receive our diploma. As I share my story, I ask each of you to consider, how is it that you are sitting here today? What is our purpose? How is it that our paths crossed at Warner Pacific on this memorable day? As a West Indian growing up in Kingston, Jamaica, never in my wildest dreams did I consider my journey would lead me here. My grandmother, with her third grade education and inner West Indian dialect, would often say to me, "Vonnie, take in your lesson." Translates, take in and absorb your education so that you can apply the knowledge to your life's journey. Upon arriving in America, I quickly joined the Army as a combat medic, rising to the rank of sergeant. My grandmother's words followed me as I excelled in the top of my classes. After 8 years in the Army, I joined the Thurston County Sheriff's Department as a corrections deputy, where I served my community for the last 11 years. There is where my journey took a turn. When someone spoke one word, just 3 letters, "Hey," changed my destiny forever. The online dictionary defines these 3 letters, used to attract attention, express surprise, interest, annoyance, elicit agreement, or as a friendly greeting. You never know how much a simple word can wake you up and change your direction. Hey, Eric. Over the last 2 years, 4 months, and 13 days, 19,200 miles of driving from Lacey, Washington, I have often thought about my grandmother's words as I take in my lessons at the Cascade campus, an adult learner. As an ADP student, we enter the warm confines of our beloved Warner Pacific College as an unwritten book, eager to fill the pages. The diploma we receive represents success and achievement, but the heartache and happiness that accompanies it. The diploma itself will be tucked away in the appendix of our book while the journey to attain it fills pages. As the months passed, we grew and we learned in our cohorts not to allow external circumstances to define us. Our books are written on our terms. The friends we sit with today became additions to our family, undoubtedly some of the main characters in our book of life. Our campus provided us not only with a place to learn, but a true home. We were fortunate to experience Professor Joe's quiet moments and culturally contingent diversity. Thank you, Professor Joe. Victoria Clevenger, the quiet storm, who introduced gracious space during conflicts, and gentle Arthur Kelly, who offered the prayer of Thomas Merton, Thoughts in Solitude. Thank you. We learned what a home for the mind, heart, and spirit meant in its full reality. We are now equipped to begin the next chapter of our book. Our book will veer off from the outline we created, for therein lies the beauty of our journey. Warner Pacific has instilled in us a tremendous fire, a passion for life, and a desire to make the community and the world in which we live a better place. We owe it to each other, our family, our professors, our college, our country, and our God to pursue our wildest dreams. Our professors and classmates have pushed us to the brink over the years. As graduates of Warner Pacific College, we can do anything. In the words of John Bingham, the miracle isn't that I finished, the miracle is that I had the courage to start. So class of 2015, let us commit ourselves to the belief that we can accomplish anything. With this belief, our book is destined to be a bestseller. As Warner Pacific College students, we came onto campus with different backgrounds and different life experiences. We leave today as a collective unit. We are the class of 2015. No matter our diverse background, culture, or the community we come from, whether nursing, theology, business, education, diplomacy, or arts and sciences, we are all members of this one community. Let us put aside the joy of our memories and the excitement of our future for the time being. For as Papa Winchester once said, You didn't do it then, but you're doing it now. Thanks, Papa. At this moment, we are in absolute bliss. We are all Warner Pacific Knights, and in the great words of Charles Dickens, look out for us and stand by, you over there, and know that there were no better words. Such was my purpose. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my mom and my sister for traveling from New Jersey, Englewood, New Jersey, to be here, and my friends and co-workers from Thurston County Sheriff's Department. Thank you all. God bless.
I don't think it's any secret around here that I love Warner Pacific College. And I respect, Ben, come up here. I want to stand you next to me while I'm embarrassing you. I really respect and care about these folks here, and I love my colleagues on the faculty, but the truth is, what I love about Warner Pacific College is you, right here, the students of Warner Pacific College. You are all so amazing. Yeah, it's not all about you, Ben. You are such embodied stories. Your stories that I've been privileged to listen to and hear as you reflect on your life, your stories of love and redemption, of rending and healing, of addictions and recoveries, cynicism and rediscovery of hope and faith, lost and found, resilient. That's what you all are, resilient. We've been blessed by your presence. From time to time, a student shows up who doesn't really need us. I hate to say that in front of everybody, especially my colleagues, but some of our students don't really need us. You know, a suggestion here, a question there, a directional sign somewhere over there. They're so already committed to faith, life, and learning. You know I'd get that in there. And pilgrimage. These students have experienced life so fully already. Its sad and glorious paradoxes. They've already walked to the coastal edge of life and come back. These students are more colleagues than students, and you are often our teachers. One such colleague is our second speaker, Ben Irwin. I wrote a poem for Ben. I love Ben Irwin. It's a love poem. Benjamin, son of the right side, standing on tiptoes, vigilant, compassionate, many-eyed Argos, protector of others. Don't mess with my friends, my mentees, or me for that matter. 3 times a mentor, fierce in his caring, long-suffering in his relationships, writer of novels, alive to reality, honest seeker after truth, already contributor to the powerful play that goes on. I want to add to that, ring bearer, raconteur, and if you don't know what that means, look it up in Yvonne's dictionary. Fierce Facebook social critic. Ben is a demanding student, a dramatist, a musician and songwriter. He's a thoughtful 410 author. He's a novelist, too, and counting. In 2014, in his second year as a mentor, he was named as FYLC mentor most likely to win the award for multi-mentoring. This is what the citation said: War and Peace in one hand, a TriMet bus pass behind his ear. Oh, I should do it this way. War and Peace in this hand, a TriMet bus pass behind this ear, and writing feminist Facebook entries over here while conducting deeply meaningful conversations. Really, that was a citation. In 2015, he was honored as the FYLC mentor, working above his pay grade, wise beyond his years, which pretty much summarizes and introduces your next speaker. Ben.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly, for introducing me, and thank you, President Cook, Dr. Dawson, and esteemed faculty for giving me the honor of speaking today. I am humbled to have been chosen for the task of putting words to the experience of my class. I have been impacted at least as much as I have made an impact in my years here, if not more, and my heart is full to have arrived here with all of you. But this rite of passage is not just a graduation, it is a commencement. That word is important because we almost exclusively think of this as an end, but the word commencement evokes beginnings. My sincere hope is that you will mark this as the beginning of a lifetime of learning and not as the end. You may be thinking, yes, this is it. I've done all my assignments, read all my textbooks, and I'm done. And this mindset leads into the alarming statistic that 42% of college graduates never read another book after college. We live in a society that values winning trophies and accolades over earning them, 4.0s over truly wrestling with the material you are learning or enjoying yourself while doing it. We all want to play the guitar like Jimi Hendrix, but we don't want to spend 10,000 hours taking guitar lessons. We want a quick fix, an instantaneous way of being recognized, a way to gain, not a way to grow. But the journey matters more than the destination. This graduation, and even the degree itself, means less than how you spent your time getting here. Too often we shrug off life experiences and go, yeah, but how can this make me look good? We're a culture of, I went to Uganda on a short-term missions trip and it completely changed my profile picture on Facebook. But this isn't about the accolades, the tassels, the career prospects, the slip of paper, and this isn't the end. Your time as a student is only beginning because being a student is a lifestyle. For that reason, I encourage you to always be learning, stretching yourself, puzzling for solutions, embracing the complexities that lack solutions. Always experiment with the unfamiliar and the uncomfortable. And another thing, always have a book that you are currently reading as a matter of principle, as a matter of self-respect. We're college grads. So, thank you. Stating that commencement is a beginning isn't just my way of telling you never to stop learning. It's also my way of telling you to rest easy, because it's not something you're going to hear a lot in this busy time of your lives. One thing I do know is that in this stage of life, somehow everyone seems to know how we should live our lives better than we do. You engage older adults that you don't really know in small talk, that you in your sweet naivety actually believe is just small talk. As they hit you with a round of questions about your intentions for college, your plans after, you realize that you, my friends, are being quietly summed up. Oh, really? You went to college for that degree? And you were planning to do what now? Oh, I see. Oh, so you don't know what you're doing with your life exactly. How strange. The rest of us have it all figured out. You're all familiar with this. People will disapprove if you took the time to attend college. They would disapprove if you hadn't. They will disapprove of your choice in academic major. They will disapprove if you go into a field relevant to that coursework. They would disapprove if you went into a field that had little or nothing to do with it. They would disapprove if you at your age were to marry and have children. They would disapprove if you stayed single for what they deemed was too long. Everyone has an opinion about how you should live your life, and I will clue you in on a secret, graduates. That chorus of voices means nothing. To clue you in on another secret, successful adulthood and having it all together are carefully crafted facades of insecurity many people feel the need to perpetuate. Of course, emotional maturity, financial independence, paying bills and taxes, holding a steady career, having a place to live and a family perhaps, these are things we will all learn. But a lot of you must feel astounding pressure to make it seem like you really know what you're doing and you're just as much an adult as anyone else in the room, and I encourage you to let go of that just a little bit, at least today. And if you refuse to play the game of trying to please everybody else and choose instead to bravely pursue what you love, you may find that's actually the secret to adulthood. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross once said, "It is very important that you only do what you love to do. You may be poor, you may go hungry, you may lose your car, you may have to move into a shabby place to live, but you will totally live. And at the end of your days, you will bless your life because you have done what you came here to do. Otherwise, you will live your life as a prostitute. You will do things only for a reason, to please other people, and you will have never lived, and you will not have a pleasant death." That's heavy, but it's a serious topic. A fulfilled life is a satisfying byproduct of living for the things you care about most. Your schooling, your degree, these things would be inconsequential and signify nothing about you if they did not reflect 4 years or more of wrestling with what you are learning and what it means for who you are. That is what we are here to celebrate, your commencement. Go and commence. Experience things so that you can really experience them and not just so that you can add something to your resume. That's not the point of living. Climb the mountain so that you can see the world, not so that the world can see you. Class of 2015, thank you, and congratulations once again on the beginning of the rest of your lives.
Thank you, Bridgetown. They're great, aren't they? This morning, we have the opportunity to honor a couple of folks, and I'd like to ask Sandy Alquist to join me on the stage, first of all. Sandy will be retiring after serving the college for the past 2 decades. She has taught at Warner Pacific in the fields of sociology and social work, and she was responsible for the creation of the social work major, which continues to grow and evolve. Before coming to Warner Pacific, Sandy was a therapist in community mental health for over 20 years. In addition, she is a certified family life educator with the National Council on Family Relations. This service in social work and family life education has informed her many years of teaching at Warner Pacific. It enables her, in collaboration with students, to develop meaningful internship experiences. Issues of human rights, oppression, and social justice have consistently influenced her teaching and community service activities. This spring, Sandy Alquist was awarded the Kendall Award for Excellence in Teaching. Students appreciate her disarming way of asking the questions that are crucial, most need to be answered, and most difficult to address. Students describe her as kind, funny, offering the perfect blend of theoretical and practical content. Students love her as a teacher and as a person. Based upon the recommendation of her colleagues, the Dean and Dean Dawson, Professor Alquist is granted the special appointment as Professor Emeritus. Please join me in congratulating Professor Emerita Sandy Alquist. Bart Valentine, will you join me, please? Bart will retire at the end of the 14-15 academic year. Bart returned to Warner Pacific College in 1999 to restart athletics after a 9-year hiatus, to serve as the athletic director and as the men's basketball coach. Bart served as athletic director until 2009, when he transitioned to the classroom, teaching math and chairing the Department of Science and Health. Bart continued coaching men's basketball through the 2011-12 season, taking the team to the NAIA Division II National Tournament in 7 consecutive years. Prior to his return to Warner Pacific, Bart Valentine spent 23 years teaching high school math and science classes in the public school system and coached many sports during that tenure as well. Bart is known around the Northwest for his integrity and effectiveness as an athletic administrator and basketball coach. He not only developed a strong athletic program and winning basketball program at Warner Pacific College, he served as a mentor and spiritual father to many of the young men on his teams. Bart was an early adopter of Warner Pacific College's urban mission, recruiting diverse young men from our urban centers who changed the game of basketball at Warner Pacific. He serves as a tremendous example of a role model and a transformer of lives. In addition, Bart is very active in his congregation, Lynchwood Church of God. Bart is known for his calm, wise, stable, and passionate demeanor. He has helped students with high math anxiety overcome their fears and succeed. He is patient and takes the time needed to help his students feel competent and confident in their understanding of math concepts. He loves to teach, and students love to learn from Bart. In fact, Bart Valentine was selected by the student body as the 2014-15 Faculty Member of the Year. The Caldwell Award is given by the college to persons who have made significant contributions to the improvement of the human condition through their personal involvement in the life of the college, through the church, or in response to the highest needs in society. This award is a means to recognize individuals who personify the service component of the college's mission. This award is named for Dr. Mack and Irene Caldwell, former Warner Pacific College professors who demonstrated on a daily basis what it means to love one's neighbors as oneself. Please join me in congratulating Bart Valentine as the recipient of the Mack and Irene Caldwell Award. I would like to ask Dr. Cole Dawson to join me here. He didn't know about this. Cole Dawson will be transitioning from the role of Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of the Faculty at the end of this month, after serving in this role for 10 years. During these 10 years, the college has undergone significant changes, including the growth, restructuring, and opening of new sites for the adult degree program, increased intentionality around articulating and embracing the core themes of our mission statement, and the addition of several new academic programs. Dr. Dawson has served as the college's accreditation liaison. With that responsibility, Cole has led the work of preparing for accreditation visits, chaired the accreditation committee, and served as an evaluator of other institutions around the Northwest region. Under his leadership, Warner Pacific College's accreditation credibility has grown substantially. As recently as the end of April, the college hosted a mid-cycle accreditation team and received a very good report. The work of the Chief Academic Officer is a heavy load. It includes serving on the Executive Cabinet, leadership of the faculty, oversight of academic policies, development of curriculum, the assessment of academic excellence, improvement of teaching and learning, and budget oversight of all academic units. For the season of 3 years, Dr. Dawson also supervised all of student affairs functions of the college, in addition to his role as academic vice president. Dr. Dawson will complete his service as vice president for academic affairs in a few short weeks. After a sabbatical during fall semester, he will return to the faculty as professor of history. Students will once again enjoy his teaching skills as a full-time professor. Please join me in thanking Dr. Dawson for his decade of service as Warner Pacific College's Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of the Faculty.
Okay. Each year, the college honors outstanding performances on the part of students and faculty in the areas of teaching, scholarship, and service. Last week, during our honors chapel, each academic department identified students who have excelled in their chosen areas of study. Recipients of the Kendall Excellence in Teaching and Excellence in Scholarship were also recognized, and students announced their choices for Faculty and Staff Persons of the Year. In addition, the Adult Degree Program has also identified students who exemplify each of the college's core themes. You'll notice that in your program, the names of each of these students and the respective awards that they have been awarded are listed. We now turn to the college-wide awards for outstanding performances by our students. Dr. Glenn comes to introduce the Milo Chapman Award.
I have the pleasure of introducing the Milo Chapman Award for Excellence in Service. And what's amazing about this award is the recipient does not know that they're going to receive the award. So it's always an honor to embarrass them a little bit at this point of the commencement. So when I announce who the person is, come on stage, and then I'll read all the beautiful things about you. But first, I'm going to start off with a description of this award. So the Milo L. Chapman Excellence in Service Award is named for a man who served Warner Pacific College as a model of servanthood to the community. His association with the college spanned 46 years. During these years, he filled the position of president 3 times, served as dean, and in addition, taught classes on a consistent basis. Milo was a man of wisdom who listened. He was a counselor, an encourager, a mentor. He was a man of great faith in God. His life was a life of service. It's clear from the description of Milo Chapman that he did quite a bit for Warner Pacific College and the people who were part of the Warner Pacific community during his time. He served in multiple positions and no doubt worked extremely hard to accomplish the tasks and goals for each of those roles. There's no doubt a resume of his achievements is one important way to see who's having an impact as a leader, but you'll notice that this award is not entirely about that. Beyond the titles and awards, the spirit of this award is just as, if not more important. Some roles like counselor, encourager, and mentor are earned through authentically living out the values of a leader who exists to serve. So it is my pleasure to announce this year's Milo Chapman Excellence in Service Award. It goes to Gigi O'Gwen. Gigi, where you at? right, so stay up here for a second, Gigi, so I can tell everybody about your amazing 4 years at Warner. Come on closer. Gigi will change the world. During her 4 years at Warner Pacific, she has emerged as an innovative leader who fiercely served the Warner Pacific community and is willing to fight entrenched systems of oppression and marginalization that affect the Latino community. Over her 4 years at Warner, she has been an Act 6 scholar. She is loved and respected by her fellow cadre members. She has served as the daily operation manager on student government, keeping them organized and accountable to advocate for the needs of the entire student body. She has worked to establish the multicultural organization MECHA as an active organization that reaches across cultural lines to support and educate students about different issues impacting the local Hispanic community. She led the Enactus Club as the vice president last year and was elected as the president of Enactus this year. In her service and leadership of Enactus, Gigi refocused membership and practice to reflect the mission of Warner Pacific College to serve the diverse student body. During her tenure, she focused her efforts on young children of color to help them engage in education and sports to keep them in school. She represented Warner on 3 national presentation teams, bringing home awards for 2 of those 3 competitions. However, where her passion for service is most evident is as a social entrepreneur. As the winner of the first ever social entrepreneurship capstone, Gigi is in the process of starting a social business named United Minority Entrepreneurs, also known as UNIME. And it was founded in 2015 and will be a nonprofit 501c3 that will offer one-on-one training throughout the year for minority entrepreneurs to expand their knowledge and advocate for equitable wages. Gigi encompasses the spirit of the Milo Chapman Award. She has served the Warner campus. Every person, club, classroom, and organization is challenged and transformed after meeting her. Gigi has a vision for helping the Latino community become successful entrepreneurs and in that way fight for social justice. The service she has practiced here at Warner will naturally continue as she graduates and moves into her community. Gigi has been a catalyst for the Warner community, and she will continue to challenge and transform the world. Thank you, Gigi.
The Marshall K. Christensen Award for Excellence in Scholarship is named in honor of the college's 5th president and goes to the senior in the graduating class who best exemplifies and values the values characterizing academic life at Warner Pacific. Faculty members nominate students whom they recognize as having not only benefited from our academic program of study and our co-curricular activities, but also ones who have made significant contributions to their classmates and to their colleagues. The college is pleased to announce that the Christensen Award this year goes to Alexandra Kathleen Sindorf. Alex? I'll say a few words. To receive the Christensen Award, a student must obviously have an excellent academic record. Kind of goes without saying, doesn't it? Which means a spotless GPA. But the award also recognizes the rest of the story: the perseverance, the poise, the self-discipline, the professionalism, the humility, the thirst for true, profound learning. On all those accounts, Alex's teachers remark on her compassionate focus on justice, her warmth, her ability to connect not only with ideas, but with people. Her individualized major in urban community development speaks to her creative side, as well as to her desire to invest deeply in people and places. As her major professor recently wrote about her, Alex refuses to take things at face value, but always is trying to see different points of view. applying her curiosity, intelligence, wit, and grit in all circumstances. Perhaps those attributes were never more apparent than during her semester-long study in Uganda, living in rural villages while working among and serving others. Again, as one of her professors wrote, taking classes in college is one thing, doing academically well is another, but committing one's life to becoming a world citizen and actually living that experience is priceless beyond measure. As a result of that experience, Alex has encouraged other students to do the same and invest their lives in service of others, wherever God may call them. Combining her brilliance in the classroom, her passion for learning, Alex's career at Warner Pacific has embodied the college's motto, where faith and scholarship lead to service. It is therefore our honor to present Alexandra Kathleen Sindorf the Christensen Award for Academic Excellence in 2015.
It's my honor and privilege to bestow the Dr. Wilma I. Perry Award on one of our deserving graduates of the adult degree program. This award is a surprise, so when I say your name, if you could join me on stage, I would appreciate that. The award is granted in the name of former faculty member Dr. Wilma I. Perry, who embodied many of the qualities that we at Warner Pacific College strive to instill in the graduates of our adult degree program. In her lifetime, Dr. Perry served as itinerant preacher and evangelist, and then as pastor of the Friendly Street Church of God in Eugene, Oregon. She earned a doctorate in psychology from the University of Oregon as an adult student, and then joined the faculty of Warner Pacific College, where she also directed the college's Center for Human Services. She was widely known for her speaking and teaching abilities, and as a gifted published scholar. Dr. Perry's life was one of service, academic excellence, integrity, and transformation, and we honor her today as we honor the student who receives the award. The recipients of the Wilma I. Perry Award are nominated by their colleagues and chosen on the basis of their evidence of transformation throughout the course of their studies at Warner Pacific College. This year's recipient is a graduate of the Human Development Program and was described by one of her instructors as one of the best students I've ever had. Another instructor said that her papers and comments were, quote, always on point, intelligent, thoughtful, self-aware. And when she presented, she held the space and spoke from a deeper, clearer place than most people. One of her colleagues said, one of our very first days, I knew that Yvonne Edwards was someone unique and memorable. As you can imagine, it's rare for someone to be chosen as both the commencement speaker and the award recipient, and it speaks to Yvonne's incredible impression that she's made on us. Yvonne Edwards is a military veteran who currently works as a prison guard. Her weekly commute from Olympia to Vancouver, according to her instructors and colleagues, never detracted from her ability to produce quality work and model leadership with integrity, compassion, and a strong sense of humanity. Yvonne exhibited a character that accepts people with their flaws and never speaks of others with judgment or criticism. Originally from Jamaica, Yvonne purposefully explored her heritage through a research project in class, resulting in a presentation that was truly inspiring, according to those in her class. And she reported transformation in her own thinking throughout the course of the project and the program. One of Yvonne's colleagues said, quote, I believe Yvonne meets the criteria for this award better than any other student I have met prior or since. We are pleased to present the Wilma I. Perry Award to Warner Pacific College graduate Yvonne Edwards.
The A.F. Gray Award is now the award that you will be hearing about. A.F. Gray was the first president of Warner Pacific College. He demonstrated the living example of a godly life, a disciplined mind, and a warm and loving heart. In 1940, he declared that the college seeks to impart to its students knowledge of the great facts of religion and to build into their personality those noble characteristics of love, faith, loyalty, devotion. In short, the graces of the Spirit, that they may be well qualified to serve Christ and his church. In order to uphold and honor these timeless principles, the college presents the A.F. Gray Award each year to a student who clearly exemplifies those high ideals. I have to tell you that when I asked the faculty for comments, I received many, many comments. And there's no way that this plaque would hold a citation with all of them. And so hopefully this is a fair representation, but there's much more that could be said. This year, the college honors Kelsey Davison. Congratulations. Thank you. I'm going to read some stuff about it. Okay. Kelsey brings a unique and important sense of rootedness to the Warner Pacific community. She is the daughter of 2 alumni and has a rich history in the Church of God, Anderson, Indiana. As such, she has been formed by the stories of the college in the life of her family and the community. That level of familiarity might tempt one to stay in a cocoon, but not Kelsey. She has invested that love in others, and it has multiplied. Embodying our Christ-centered mission, Kelsey yearns for deeper understanding, not simply for the sake of knowledge, but for its accompanying spiritual meaning. In the classroom, she works hard to achieve excellence in her studies. Kelsey shines as an empathetic and cooperative co-learner with her fellow classmates. She does not settle for the easy path, always striving to grow in her knowledge and strengthen her convictions. Kelsey is thoughtful in her relationships, sowing the seeds of friendship with intentional and open-hearted greetings to everyone she meets. In the midst of the busy life of a student, Kelsey has learned to cultivate deep friendships through quality time, genuine concern in others, and healthy boundaries. As a worship arts leadership major and drama minor, Kelsey personifies servant leadership. She served as co-president of the Student-Led Choral Studies Council, as both performer and student director of drama productions, and as chapel arts coordinator. She leads with intelligence, intuition, self-differentiation, and empathy. Kelsey is kind, attentive, compassionate, and she's a very articulate young woman. She is rooted to our past with a deep understanding of our urban Portland context and with a hunger to explore global perspectives. Kelsey embodies the mission, vision, and values of Warner Pacific. It's with pleasure that the college community celebrates her accomplishments and honors her as the recipient of the 2015 A.F. Gray Award.
Even as our graduate students are making their way back to their seats, I'd invite all the graduates to stand and to receive the applause and adulation of the crowd. Please. All right, please be seated. President Cook will now begin the last formal piece of our ceremony today with offering the charge to the graduating class. Following her comments, the outgoing president of the Associated Student Body of Warner Pacific College, Jake Tront, will come and respond on behalf of the students. And following their comments, I'll invite Dr. Kelly Ballard to the podium to lead us in the alma mater. Dr. Cook.
Well, first of all, congratulations to each of you. This has been a long time coming for you, and I know you're excited. I want to thank Ben Irwin and Yvonne Edwards for your reflections on your experiences here at Warner Pacific College. Congratulations to Alexandra, to Jimena, Yvonne, and Kelsey. We are so proud of each of you and all of the departmental award winners noted in the program for your achievements as students here at Warner Pacific College. Congratulations to each and every one of you on the accomplishment of completing your degree. You've achieved an important goal that is worthy of our celebration today. Success is rarely about the individual. At Warner Pacific College, we teach from a conviction that life is best lived in community. We believe learning should acknowledge the interrelatedness of all things. So today, before we celebrate you graduates, let us first honor those in your lives who've been encouraging, supporting, cheering, and praying for you each step along the way. This is, in part, their celebration as well. So I'd like you to stand as I name you. First of all, parents, would you please stand? Thank you for all that you've done along the way for your students. Spouses, would you please stand? Children, are you in the room? And siblings, would you please stand? And grandparents, would you stand? And I think this should capture everybody else. Other family members and friends, would you please stand? In addition to the contributions of your loved ones, you have benefited from the commitment of the faculty and staff of Warner Pacific College. Each day, these educators give all they have to challenge, mentor, and support students to leave Warner Pacific College prepared to engage actively in a constantly changing world. I'm grateful to these individuals for the work they do. They offer their faithfulness and dedication as they share their knowledge, faith, wisdom, and love of learning with each student. Please thank them as well. You have come to this moment through various circumstances and paths. These have been formational moments in your life. For some, this has been a 4-year or so journey through the traditional program. You've formed relationships, grown in your faith through chapel, and developed as leaders through involvement in co-curricular activities and service learning. For others, your lives have included the balance of work and family. You've sacrificed free evenings in this season of life, and maybe it's taken just a little bit longer period of time to complete this degree. In some cases, maybe 10 or 15 years. 31, okay, got it. The adult degree program has provided you with a cohort of support and a format through which you were able to fulfill the demands of your academic work along with those of your life. This degree pivots you to the next stage of your career. All of you have overcome adversity. You are different people than when you began this journey. You have developed relationships that will extend forever. You graduate into a world that has a desperate need for people to lean in, to live ethically, and to take risk to serve others. Earning a college degree is more than a vocational launching pad. It's a formational period where you have set new rhythms, many of which will set you up for the tempo of the rest of your life. It is our prayer that you will walk away today ready to think critically and wrestle with the big questions of life. We trust and believe that you will find God in the answers. Though the next step of your journey may seem a bit daunting as you graduate, take with you the confidence that you don't go alone. God will be present for each phase of the journey, whether it is to a new job, a big move, graduate school, or an unexpected adventure. I encourage you to put your full weight on Jesus and his teaching. They will not lead you astray. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus teaches his core message in chapter 5, what is called the Sermon on the Mount. For those looking for blessing, which is intimacy with the way of God, Jesus suggests that you ought to not to make money your goal. Come alongside those in pain. Be meek and mourn when necessary. Demonstrate mercy to others. Be a peacemaker. Do what's right, even when the challenges mount and the heat gets turned up in your life. To be like Jesus in the world is anything but passive. His exhortation is, you are the salt of the earth, the spice of life. He goes on in verses 14 through 16 saying, you are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Warner Pacific graduates, let your light shine before others. Be difference makers. Day to day, your vocation lies before you. Make it more than just about the money you earn or the organizational quid pro quo. Don't miss the opportunity to see the creative places where you can apply your skills, knowledge, integrity, and faith to address the world's greatest needs. Our communities and cities need servant leaders who are compassionate and thoughtful in addressing the moral, spiritual, societal, and professional needs of our culture. Stay connected to one another and stay connected to Warner Pacific College as we too seek to be an institution that is a light in our region. Let us together be a network of people set out on a mission to change the world in Jesus' name. All of us here today are so proud of you, and I speak for the faculty and staff when I say that we have been blessed to journey with you here at Warner Pacific College. As you graduate today, we pray this blessing over you. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you wherever he may send you. May he guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May he bring you home rejoicing at the wonders he has shown. May he bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors. God bless you, and may the hope, love, peace, and joy of Christ be with you today and in all the future days of your lives. Congratulations, Warner Pacific College graduates.
Still trying to figure out this gown and tassel thing, so this is gonna end up everywhere. Well, good morning, everyone. As was said, my name is Jake Tront. This past year, I had the privilege of serving as the ASWPC president, and today I have the honor of addressing you all in a response to the call, as official as that sounds. It is crazy to think that it is here, May 9th, 2015, a day that has been on some of our calendars for years to come, and others of us may have just realized this a couple weeks ago. But no matter what the time leading up to this has been, you're here at spring 2015 commencement for Warner Pacific College. We have all come from different directions, from different backgrounds, and we're even pursuing different types of degrees, associates, bachelors, and masters. But today we are unified by Warner Pacific and in a celebration not only for us, but for everyone that has supported us along this way who are surrounding us. And do not forget to say thank you to them. But since I have a mic in front of me, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to a few people, and this journey would not have been possible if it wasn't for them. So Kia Smith, my entire student government team from this year, especially the two individuals who I have the privilege of graduating with, Luam and Jose. Professors Terry Baker, Robin Gordon, and Sandy Alquist. My roommates from this year, and especially a happy birthday to Mr. Christian Stecker. Don't forget to tell him that later. And I couldn't forget my loving family and my beautiful fiance. Without you all, this wouldn't be possible. You believed in me when I struggled believing in myself. You've inspired me when I truly needed it. You challenged me and you were always there for me. And for that, I truly thank you. I've had a couple people in my life who I consider to be heroes. Now, and two of them happen to be in attendance today. They have instilled in me from an early age to be hardworking and to put family first. They supported me in my many aspirations, as crazy as they have seemed, and there's not a doubt in my mind that they will continue doing so for the rest of their lives. My parents have been a true example of what it looks like to go after something full-fledged and pursue your dreams rather than simply staying comfortable. So to set this stage, it's important that you understand that my family has this certain hobby, this thing, this passion, and that's cabinets. Now, it might seem random to most, but this has been a way of life for us. And as a family, a lot of our bonding was spent during trips to Home Depot and visits to different construction sites, and I wouldn't have traded it for the world. My parents gave an example to my brother and I of what it looks like to go after your dreams and not be held back by your own fears. And this example truly became tangible in a way of them starting their own business a couple years back and going away from a company that they had worked for many years. It was hard for us as a family, but the gratification was so much greater, and I will never forget how much happier they seemed right away and continue to seem because they pursued what they loved and they went after their dreams full-fledged. This past week, as I have truly reflected on my time attending this institution, I cannot ignore the fact that my match with WPC has been completely a God thing. And by that, I mean, when I came on this campus, I had no idea what it was in store, but he did. He saw me not only standing up here today, but also knew how much this community and all of you would dramatically impact my life. I think that college can be a transformational journey no matter what age you are going into it as. And I know that I'm not the man I was when I first walked on this campus, and I guarantee that same thing is true for many of you, and how this education and the people surrounding you have challenged you, motivated you, and humbled you. But to my fellow graduates, our passions and dreams can be a number of different things. They don't have to be starting your own business. They don't even have to be cabinets, although it's a good one. But what would it look like for us to relentlessly pursue what we love and not be held back? Today marks a beginning. It's not an end, it's the start. Because in your time at Warner, it's been more about that piece of paper that you now have in your hand. It's also more about that graceful walk and kneel that we just did. But it's about being equipped with the skills to be able to strive in this dynamically changing world. This world that we are engaging in is begging for world changers. And within this class, I know there are people who are ready to grab that by the horn. Nelson Mandela once said that education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world. So let's be the change that we want to see. Today is not the peak of our mountain, but it's just another step along the way. And my hope and prayer is that we never reach that peak because we want to keep striving and dreaming and pursuing what we love. Yeah, we can applaud that. That was a good line. So think about what you've learned in your time here as a Knight of Warner Pacific College, and let's go out there and do something with it. Education is a privilege that we all have, but not everyone does, and it would be selfish of us to store that privilege for our own good. think about the impact that we can have in other people's lives with the education that we have pursued. Your dreams are worth pursuing. What you love is also worth pursuing. Don't let your fears and anxieties get in the way, because today we celebrate as this chapter may conclude, but another one begins. Congratulations to you all, and I'm honored to be a part of the class of 2015. I want to end with a quote from another wise philosopher. It's the Grinch himself, Jim Carrey. And he says, "Pick up your light and dare to be seen." Dare to be seen. Because I know changing the world can seem like a lofty goal, but I promise you, if we follow our hearts, if we pursue our dreams, if we dare to be seen, we can better this place around us, and we can soar on wings like eagles. So ready or not, world, here we come.
While you remain seated, I will sing 3 verses to introduce the song. You have taken in a lesson like Vonnie's grandma say. Let's just call this ceremony one gigantic hey, hey. Yesterday I felt important, professorial indeed. But the great respected Arthur Kelly says I'm someone that some don't need. Imagine. You desire the mirror reflect a self-respectful look, and it will help if you will read an always present book. Sandy, Bart, and Cole all honored, the accolades well deserved. Sometimes when awards are given, it's hard to speak a word. And you are different now than when this journey was begun. Years went by, 4 or 5 or 10 or golly, maybe 31. But lunch is coming, you are tired, we will finish strong. As you stand together, sing this famous Warner song. Nestled on Mount Tabor's bosom, glorious hood in view, caressed by Willamette's effort, stands Pacific true, loyal to the Holy Bible and the Spirit's voice. Cloistered in thy sacred chambers, students now rejoice. From thy stately portals issue ranks of stalwart youth, forth to tell the gospel message, heralds of the truth. May thy glory ne'er be tarnished, nor thy light grow pale. Hail to thee, beloved Pacific, from our hearts all hail.
So as we conclude the ceremony, I'll ask Professor Emerita Ahlquist to come and deliver our benediction. Following, Please hold in the audience until the recession concludes. We do a little gauntlet at the end for the graduates. Just hold in place until we finish all of that. Then please feel free to join us at the north end of this building for a reception honoring our graduates. Sandy?
The benediction this morning is a prayer for peace, written by Francis of Assisi. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Go in peace and do good in the world.